something I encourage people to avoiding what is called textual exegesis, where you're basically looking at how intertestamental literature is being used, textual text, the Septuagint, midrash text, and then you're arguing that Paul's using the text in the same way, and then you try to say the divine intent of the Old Testament is that way. So to put things in a dichotomy, if you take this approach, you're going to see faith plus works here. That doesn't mean that the people that argue this way, which are usually progressive dispensationalists and covenant theologians, come up with this conclusion, but David has faith plus works on that.
Okay. David's arguing correctly that because of your own definition of faith plus works, it's self-evident that before the new covenant, they had to do works, as you guys define works. So I don't think doing what God says by faith is works. That's why it's the same. But you don't believe. See, the classic Christian understanding of what works are should not be understood in the way that you guys, or isn't like the way you guys understand it. How you define works, that is, you would say someone like an Adventist believes in faith plus works. If them's be works, then of course the old covenant was works-based salvation. And by the way, just think about Galatians' use. Like, you guys are... See, what you don't understand about, and this goes along with my last video, the New Testament is arguing that you're saved by works. You're not saved by works. We're not under the law. See, the way you define under the law, it defines the Old Testament as works. See, this is the problem for dispensationalists. Galatians 3 is written to people who had the law as a schoolmaster. Let me ask you, is that schoolmaster for Gentiles? Okay, no. So let me ask you, is Galatians for Gentiles? No. Why? It's for people who were he's talking to people who were under the law, who had the law as a schoolmaster. So tell me, how are you going to argue your version of grace when that is for people that were under the law? It doesn't work. Galatians isn't for you, bud. Sorry. You can't misuse Galatians for Gentiles and make a separation and get you guys you're operating from theology from Galatians that you're misusing anyways, and not even realizing that it doesn't fit your own theology. And this is why progressive dispensationalists take the route that they do, and you're left in the dust. Although the very premise in the first place was faulty. Why? Because Christ established the church with people who were under the law. The salvation in Jesus starts with the Jews who were under the law. They're not bringing the Mosaic covenant back in that sense that you guys think. You're replacing your replacement theology. You're replacing what God established with the Jews in the first century as he promised, which is then taken to the whole world to call back all the nations. But he did that through the Jewish nation with those under the law. He's saving people under the law. Why are they under the law? Because they're condemned by the law when they don't receive the justification in the Messiah. So the very argument about being under the law proves dispensationalism wrong. You're welcome.